Hey, whoop. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. Man, it is beautiful out here, isn't it? Look at that. Can you see that? Not too cold, not too hot. You can walk around without getting all sweaty. No ticks, no chiggers, no snakes. Life's pretty good. I'm liking it. I'm feeling better. I'm still not allowed to lift over 20 pounds, which is kind of, but I'm doing other things. I'm staying occupied. Hey, a couple things today. Number one, if you have sent me a request to join the apprentice program, you should have gotten your packet. If you have not, please resend your request to me. Just say, hey, PJ, please send me a packet. I'm interested in the apprentice program, and I will send it to you. My Hotmail is doing crazy things. It's starting to automatically play like movie ads, video ads. I don't have a whole lot of battery power. I don't have a whole lot of data, and it's filling it up with that garbage. It's because now they want you to buy Hotmail or Outlook or whatever the heck it is. You can buy this plan with no ads or this plan with no ads, and until you do, we're going to annoy the crap out of you. Well, I'm going to do to them the same thing I did to YouTube. I'm going to find another service. I don't want to get bummed out. So, hey, if you have sent me a request for a packet and you have not yet received one, please send me another request, and I'll get it to you. What else? What else do I want to say about that? Probably nothing. We have so many people applying. We're probably going to have to run this again and again. So, cool, right? I have some things I want to say. I'm just trying to figure out the order I want to say them in. Interesting today, a MD-500 flew over very low with obscure markings, which doesn't mean anything. It just means I don't know what the markings were. I tried looking it up and I couldn't find it. I'm sure it was probably just some civilian helicopter out for a joyride on such a beautiful day, but it was kind of interesting. So there's that. I've met in the last couple months, last 2 months, I've met many people. Maybe, try not to exaggerate, 20 who said they moved to the Ozarks because I recommended it. And I've talked about that before. It's kind of humbling when they tell you that, when they tell me that. Makes me think about things. And I know most of y'all have heard me say that I believe the Ozarks is a place chosen by the Father for his people in these end times. Not the only place, but a place. And I'm probably going to do a video on that again on YouTube, simply because, I just get so many more viewers on YouTube, and I kind of want that message to go out further. And I also figure that y'all are kind of, trying to keep this camera steady, y'all are kind of set in what you believe already, and, where you are and what you're going to do and that kind of thing. And there's my dog, Suka. And so I'm not convincing you to move. You've probably already contemplated it and have decided, not moving, staying here. Cool. So here's what I've got for you. It's heavy on my mind. You know how I've been hitting food, buy lots of food. I tell everybody that. It is getting a little cold sitting on this rock. I've also been telling people lately to form groups, form tribes, that kind of thing. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in this video too. But the thing I'm feeling is you need to get ready. You need to get ready if you've decided you're not moving for whatever reason, which is fine. You are where you are and it's working for you. Awesome. You need to get ready, I think, to be there in the long term in a big problem. Caused by whatever. War, EMP, nukes, pandemic, flu, volcano, whatever. You need to be prepared for the long term though. Start thinking about that. Quit thinking. Start acting on that. Start thinking, what would you do for food when your food stores ran out? Your current food stores, such as they are. When they run out, what are you going to do to feed your family? Whew, should have put another coat on. When your water runs out, how are you getting more? How are you getting more? How are you purifying more? How are you storing more at your house? I recommend rain catchment and setting that up now, but how are you going to do that? What are you going to do for security? What are you going to do for heat if you live someplace where it's really cold? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Start thinking about long-term stuff. How are you going to survive, you and yours? And start doing something about it. Do something every day. Take steps every day. I gave a talk Springdale at the prep show, and I told people that you need to establish your goals. You know, what do you want to get done? Attach to that goal a time frame. When do you want to have it done by? And then break that elephant of a goal down into bite-sized bits that we call milestones. You know, if by this time next year I want to have a 30-year supply of food. I'm being ridiculous for a reason. Okay, well then that means by the end of 6 months from now I need to have this, and by the end of this I need to have this, and just set little milestones for yourself so you can keep track and you don't get lost. But yeah, I just feel stuff. I want you to be ready. I really do. I care about you. To that end, build it and they will come. Maybe I'll title this video that. Because, you know, I said, hey, we're going to do an apprentice program. I'm going to announce it on YouTube, but I'm letting you all know first. And we've got so many applicants from Vikings that I'm not even going to announce it on YouTube. So I built it and y'all came. The other thing is this, I got a lot of comments talking about the gun show, and then I made some comments saying, hey, maybe we can do some regional get-togethers or something. And there was some, yeah, let's do that. I realize I am who I am and I'm different than most people and but I really do believe that you can do what I do if you want to, right? If you just make a go at it. And here's the thing, build it and they will come. If you say, I am hosting, you know, you say, I am hosting, you are hosting an event, you know, maybe you pick out a national forest pavilion or a state park pavilion, you know, maybe you have to rent it for $60 or something, you know, I don't know, group campsite area, or where else would you do it? At a park. I've done these things at rest stops. I've picked rest stops and we've gone to them. Picked a state forest in a state nobody lived in, and we all went there and met. But if you organize a prepper link up, meet and greet, people will come. You have to advertise it. And how do you advertise it? Well, start here and say, hey, I am going to host an event on this day at this location. I'm just going to make something up, you know. I always use Maine. That's kind of out there all by itself. Iowa, you know. Pleasantville, Iowa. I don't even know if that's a city. Pleasantville, Iowa, at the state park and campsite B on, you know, Sunday from 10 in the morning until 6 at night. We're going to get together, grill some meat, bring your own food, bring your own cooler. Let's get together as preppers and meet there. And then so you tell everybody here and see who says they're coming. Maybe you get some of the Vikings here to help you. Hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you announce it on your Facebook? I'll announce it on my Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, but you know, whatever, your social media, meetup.com or org or something. There's some kind of thing there where it's kind of like a Craigslist deal. You could probably put a Craigslist ad out there. Prepper meeting. What you're going for here is bulk people. You're going for lots of people. Then you're going to meet them all. You're going to talk to them all. And the ones you like, you're going to get contact info from, and you're going to have a further meeting with them. And you're going to start narrowing it down. You know, cast a big wide net and start filtering your fish. But if you have something like that, just plan some simple activities. Hey, we're going to have a bug out bag layout. You know, if you want to show and tell your bug out bag, bring it. You know, we're going to grill food. People like to do that, you know. And just invite people, and people will show up if you do that. If you have, if you start getting people interested, you can ask them, hey, is there something you could teach? Like, you know, a 40-minute block of instruction that you'd like to give people? You'd be surprised. A lot of people say, yeah, well, I can show somebody how to put a splint on. I can show somebody how to do this. That doesn't have to cost a lot of money, you know, or any. It doesn't have to be overly resource intensive. What you're really aiming for is to get people together, right? You want people to get together, hang out, talk, and meet. And then you can take it from there. Build it, and they will come. Have to advertise it, and then get the people to advertise it. Everyone who signs up, say, hey, put this out on your social media site. Dun, 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 dun. Now I can hear, not so much you, but if I said something like this on YouTube, I would hear, oh yeah, but then you're gonna have the feds show up, or you're gonna have the weird wacko survivalists show up, and what do you care? What do you care? You're just meeting with people who are concerned about the future, who want to, maybe take it a step further. Nobody said you're plotting revolution or, whatever. I mean, it could be 3 regular families with kids in grade school that just want to start doing hiking together or something, and you all meet at this event. And it's like, yeah, hey, you guys want to go to the park, go see the waterfalls next Saturday, or something. But you got to get out. You got to put yourself out there a little bit to meet people. So why don't you try that if you're interested? And some of you out there, this is registering, right? You're like, oh, I'm on 6 groups of local kind of people, and I'm on this and I'm on that. People come if you're involved in scouting or anything like that. You could make it part of that. So there's that. Build it and they will come. Please get yourselves ready. Get yourselves ready. Oh, and then a happy, cool little thing I was reading today. I just thought it was very interesting for me. I guess Rex Tillerson, is very soon probably to be out as Secretary of State, which is good because he's not working with Trump. Matter of fact, he speaks things counter to what Trump says. Dude, you work for him, not the other way around. You got to be part of the plan or get out, right? And so it looks like he's leaving pretty soon. They're going to move Pompeo from CIA over to state. This is what's in the buzz right now. And then who are they going to put at CIA? I'm always interested who's the head of CIA. And it looks like they're looking hard at this guy named Cotton, who's the most junior senator. He happens to be from Arkansas. And so I looked him up. This is a quality person. No, he really is. He's just like a regular kid that grew up on a family farm ranch thing in Arkansas, and went to high school, no big deal, but he got accepted to Harvard. So I don't really know his parents' background. I should probably go deeper into that. But he got accepted to Harvard, and he graduated in 3 years, right? Smart guy. And then he went to graduate school somewhere else at a school I haven't heard of, and then decided didn't like it, got out, went back to Harvard, got his JD, which means he's a lawyer, right, an attorney, got out, practiced law, was in a firm, and then decided to join the military, the Army. And he was offered at the recruiting station, since he was already a qualified attorney, he could have entered the Army as a captain, which is, fairly high starting out rank, and been a JAG, right, a military lawyer. He said, no, I don't want to do that. And so he joined the Army. Now, this is a guy with a Harvard education, a law degree from Harvard, right? He joins the Army as a specialist, E4, on the program to go to officer candidate school. So he does that. But if he'd failed, which I'm sure he wasn't afraid of, he'd have been an E4 in the Army. He got out, went to OCS, became a 2nd lieutenant, 101st Airborne, and then had a short little career, active duty, went to Iraq, went to Afghanistan, wrote I thought this was funny. He wrote an open letter to the New York Times accusing 3 of the New York Times reporters of espionage and saying they should be prosecuted because they were putting soldiers' lives in danger for an article they wrote about terrorist financing or something like that. And New York Times didn't publish it, but it got picked up by the blogosphere and circulated around. And then Pete Schoomaker, he was the chief of staff of the Army, the head general of the Army. He got it. He sent it to every general. And he said, look at one of our young, bright lieutenants is doing. I'm telling you, for a 2nd lieutenant to have the chief of staff of the Army send something he wrote to every general in the Army and then say, this is one of our smart guys, your career is just on lightning rails, right? You're doing good, Holmes. And he got called in by his boss, and he was afraid he was going to get fired or something. And the guy said, you're new at this. All second lieutenants are new at what they do. But in the future, and you can write to whoever you want to, it's your right as American, but in the future you might want to get your chain of command a heads up. But he served out, his initial enlistment, whatever you want to call it, for 4 years, went in the reserves for a couple of years, got out, worked as a consultant lawyer, and then went back to do his farm, and then got into politics and became a senator. I mean, this is an interesting guy with a lot of different parts to him, I think. I think he might actually be really good for CIA. He's an airborne ranger, like me, air assault, like me. So I'm liking him. I hope he does get the job. So there's that. If you heard that bell in the background, my wife was ringing the lunch bell, so I'm going to go do that. Start thinking seriously about things. Think soberly about how you and yours are going to make it long term. And don't just think about it. Start taking some action. A woman asked me in an interview the other day about something which I cannot tell you right just yet, but you'll hear it before anybody else does. But she said, what should I be afraid of? I told her nothing. Fear is a negative emotion. Don't be afraid. Take action. All right. I'll see you out there.